got to do these 4 things within your duty. And this is, to love, to lead, to protect, and provide for your family and the loved ones and people that you're around. So that's kind of like your duty at a high overview there. Hey friends, this is Nathan here with Help Equip. I want to give you 7 quick ways that you can think about building your plan of your life and how to really kind of think through this. So high overview of some things you want to look at. Number 1, your gifts, your talents. What are the affirmations that you're hearing from others of your gifts and talents, or some things that you're seeing in those qualities of a person that has some value to the marketplace, or things that you hold that are important. The second one is your values. What are the important things in your life? Who are the important things in your life? What are the things that you really appreciate and really kind of hold dear? Looking at, your number 1, your relationship with God. You hold that as a value of your core belief and understanding of who you are, your relationship, and the continuing to serve Him. And from that, the second one is your relationship with maybe your spouse or your family, the key people in your life. That if you had the fire drill, type of thing, you would be taking those as the important things. And the other one is kind of like your purpose, how you live out the importance of your life and how that looks. So that's number 2. Your gifts and talents is number 1. 2, your values. 3rd is your standards of who you are and what you do. Right? And so this kind of breaks down with some even more practical things of like how you want to live your life. What is the perfect ideal look? I don't know if you've done this with a calendar or like the time in your day from the 12 to 15 hours that are awake time. What do you do? What's an absolute like amazing day that would break down what is important to you, and what are those consistent things that you can turn on in your life, like your time, your health, your sleep, your things that you're doing that are your core things to help you in that mission. So what does your day look like in the breakdown? What are you eating? What are you doing with your sleep, your health, your food, your intake? What are those consumption things that you're doing? Are you doing more entertainment, or you're doing more education? It's the E to E ratio is how I look at it. Are you educating yourself more than entertainment? What's that equation look like? And then you'll identify what's the compounding result of what your outcome of your life will be when you look at those key standards of it. The second one is the priority of your duty. So this is the key things as the breakdown of the Maslow law of things where you're looking at how you're living your life. So as a man, you're looking at the duty, and those duties are really important. This is how you look at your family and who you do. You got to do these 4 things within your duty, and this is to love, to lead, to protect, and provide for your family and the loved ones and people that you're around. So that's kind of like your duty at a high overview there. The 5th one is your purpose. So who I serve and what I do from that, right? And so your purpose comes from a place after you go through these things of identifying who you are. You're understanding who you are really down to the core values of those really underlying traits of who you're wanting to be and how you want to live that life out. And then you got your standards of who you are and those practical things. You've heard that quote where it says, show me your habits and I'll show you, your success type of thing. When you break those things down, it really kind of helps you understand even more of those things that you trait. And then your duty is just those practical things. What is your nut that you need to cover? What are those practical things that are super, super important for every aspect of your things? And the key things is providing for your family, protecting them, loving them, leading them well. You've seen the deadbeat dad, the deadbeat guy in the family. That's the black sheep. They just do nothing. There is no duty. There is no purpose. There is no value. There's no traits involved in their growth by any means. So you got to look at what those key things within your 4 quadrants of your duty that's going to help you then line yourself up for your purpose. And your purpose is who you serve and how you do that service. So it kind of breaks down a little bit more. We all want to be a part of something that's beyond ourselves. So you need to look at, find, or create something that has a deeper sense of that purpose. And I think this will kind of really help you define that mission focus of what you're wanting to do. And I think as you're on your journey of trying to identify your talents, your giftings, your values, your standards, it will kind of fall in line a little bit closer within honing in on that lane. But those purposes allow you to really define a few things. And so this is helpful for you. And many of the time when you're looking for your purpose, you're looking for what can you contribute back? What is the impact? What's a legacy that you want to give? And oftentimes it's equated to the service and value you give. And in the marketplace, that's dollar signs. There's quantitative things like this. And this kind of leans into that duty side as well as the encompassing other areas of your life and how you're defined as a purpose. But this is how I break this down. So if you're wanting to be very successful in making six figures for your family, in our day-to-day world, that would be a good quantitative job of six figures, okay, or multiple six figures. What that looks like is you need to find a skill in the marketplace that is needed. So there's two that stand out in my world, and this is sales. You need to be good at communicating, negotiating. That's a practical skill, that you will need in every aspect of your life. I got to sell my kids on eating vegetables. Okay, you got to do everything in life with sales and persuasion. So I think there's some practical breakdown that you need to learn to really be able to have that value. And that goes breakdown. Even if you want to start a business down the road, sales is going to be the lifeblood of that. So that's a really good skill to get to six figures and multiple six figures. The second one is marketing, which kind of go hand in hand with sales and marketing. But if you can learn the tech stack, say if you're not, a people person, but you like the tech and you really kind of like algorithms and the architecture and engineering of how things all work, I'd lean into doing marketing. And then so that way you have a skill that can really lean into being ultimately like a CMO or some person with a value of like an agency or something like that as a freelancer that can really line you up. And then the other skill that could be within everything right here that you need to learn. So just to be clear, you got six figures, you're having an amazing skill, amazing life, you're able to provide. Two lanes I would focus on, the persuasion of sales, and then also looking at marketing are the two navigations in this world that I would say those would be important to really look at, leaning in if six figures is your mark. If you're wanting to create a business that allows to have a deeper impact and you really think you have that bandwidth, entrepreneurship in a business is not easy, so I don't recommend it for everybody. I remember hearing a quote from Elon Musk that saying entrepreneurship is like eating glass and staring into an abyss. Being in business for a long time, sometimes it feels like you want to lean into that sometimes. So just so you know, it's not of the faint of heart, but if you really feel like that is the endeavor, the trait, the thing that you need to be doing with your deeper sense of purpose, this is what I would suggest looking into doing, is you need to look at your skill sets and your giftings and build a coaching course. And that's going to really help you look at the deeper impact because we're a globalized audience. And that skill, if it's applied to the market, is going to be really able to help many, many people with those things that you do. There's tons of elements within building a business that's really important. You're looking at knowing these four quadrants that I think of building a business. You got to know sales, you got to know marketing, you got to know fulfillment, and then you also need to recruit top talent. And that's finding, selling the vision, managing and leading a team. So those are all skills within the four: sales, marketing, fulfillment, which is the service or product that you sell, or the recruiting of the top talent. So those are the four quadrants with building a 7 and 8 figure business. The two businesses that I would look at, like I mentioned, the first one is a coaching company. The second one is a marketing agency. I think in any sort of tech atmosphere right now, there is tons of business that needs that help because they need to have a digital transformation, an online presence that is robust and kick butt. And if you don't have that, as you guys really well know, with COVID, it was forced on people. And many, many people that I've worked with in the past are like, I wish I did this a long time ago with you, Nathan. Like years ago when he told me to do it, I'm like, told you. So marketing, those are good things. So that's the fifth one. The sixth one is you need a brotherhood. You need to surround yourself with like-minded high achievers that will push you to do better, to be better, to really kind of hold you to your goals, to your values. That's going to be really important. And then the seventh one, this is an odd one, but you need to recognize your enemies that's holding you up against accomplishing doing all of these things, identifying your values, your standards, your duties, your purpose, your brotherhood, identifying even the enemy that's attacking you from this. So first and foremost, you got, and these are big things to fight in. You got Satan and his demons out there to kill, steal, and destroy you. So there's some supernatural thing against you. And then you got yourself and your happiness and your laziness and your selfishness that combat you, sort of those things. And so if you are feeling like I have no drive, I have no motivation, I don't know where to turn and accomplish things, you need to talk with me. So message me, find a way to contact me, and I will kind of give you my best suggestions on how to steer and can steer yourself toward those sort of things. But there is different quadrants of how to combat this enemy, and you have to be very intentional about what this looks like. And so you got these 3 different areas that you need to look at. You first need to know how to fight. Okay, you need to be aware of the fight, and you need to prepare yourself to fight against it. Okay, then you need to fortify yourself. So you need to create boundaries, atmospheres, barriers for you to fight the good fight and not just be someone that's in the middle of the war zone and being at that target. So you need to really think about your atmosphere of the high performance gear that you need to create and figure it out, because the habits that you're creating right now is probably not helping you set up. And there's different areas in life that you need to figure these things out. This is your health, this is your fitness, this is, what you're doing up late at night and watching, or what you're fortifying within your life and the boundaries of you and your family, or what you're allowing into your house. You need to set that up. And that's where you need to fight, you need to fortify, and the other one is you need to find a brotherhood. This is not a lone ranger type of setup. We are built for community. We're wired for community, and we need that type of person involved to really kind of help you identify some of that stuff. So you need to find your brother. Those are the 3 things there, and you need to eliminate the self-focused things, because that's not helping you. So you got to live out trying to identify what those things are for you, and this kind of helps you break down after those 7 things. Let me give you a really quick recap of your life plan and how these kind of work, and this goes hand in hand with what you're building and a foundation with things. So, you got to build this foundation of who you are, what your gifts are, what your talents are. Then you identify your values on how you want to live your life there. Then you got your standards of who you are, what you do, your duty, your core necessities, covering your nut, your big things that you need. And then from there, you can define your purpose. And then the 6th one is surrounding yourself around with a brotherhood to reinforce all those same things and those morals and standards, as well as that can contribute to it. So you find those like-minded, high-achieving type of people in your world. And then you need to be aware that there is an enemy out there, and those things that are causing you to be imploding in your ability to step up in these different roles. So just wanted to kind of walk these things through with you. If you have any questions, leave it down in the comment, or ideas of maybe what I'm missing here. If you want to be in contact with me, what I did is I put out a whole different things of all these different areas of your life and just kind of listed out bullet points for you. I want you to be able to have that free resource down below. I am building some cool things out here in the future that's going to really allow you to be able to take all these things and take it into practical sense. So look out for that here on the channel. Like and subscribe if you like this. Hopefully this is helpful. Fight hard.